this is going to be a quick and easy DIY project. So years ago, I created this pirate treasure map by using regular paper, putting it in tea, and you could also use coffee based on the color you want and how long you want to keep it to get this different color and feel. It has like a different feel to it. And then I burned it and drew on it to make it look like a treasure map. But what I wanted to do in this video is show you, instead of using tea or coffee to get a darker color, I got inspired by looking at a magazine. So this ad, you could see all these beautiful brown colors, and I'm sure if you let the paper stay in longer, you can get a darker color, a lighter color. But I just wanted a very pale color. So to take a regular, this is a Nutmeg created paper. After I took a regular, this is just regular inexpensive printing paper. So this was the original color, and you can see it's not a big difference, but you can see where the nutmeg actually left the little dots in the paper, and you can see it's darker. So I'm just going to get closer so you can see the little dots in the paper that came from the nutmeg, and this was the original sheet of paper. So you can see the color difference, but you could also tell that it changed the feel of the paper. So let me show you how to do that. So normally you would use it in a bigger container so that you could put the whole sheet of paper without folding it. But I just wanted to use it in a cup, and you can see how the nutmeg doesn't dissolve in the water. So you take hot water, you put some nutmeg in it, and I just use this nutmeg. It smells really good. I drink a nutmeg tea. Usually I put with turmeric and nutmeg, which to me tastes really good, but you could use just plain nutmeg. And you would stir this up, and it makes the water a brown with the bits of nutmeg. So I'm going to just take a piece of paper, because I didn't want to use a bigger container. I folded it, and I just wanted to fold it in different ways so that it wouldn't look like a perfectly square fold. So you see there are different folds to the paper. So this is the way I folded it. And then I put it into the cup, and I didn't leave it in a long time. But what I noticed is that when you put it in and it's folded, part of it is going to stay dry. So you have to open it up, refold it, and do it again. And since I didn't stir this, I'm going to just use the tip of this to kind of stir this. And I'll open it up and show you how it looks. When I was squeezing it in the cup, I squeezed too hard and it ripped. So that's part of the reason why I would say putting it in the cup isn't the best way to do it, but I just wanted to do it to show you guys. So this is really wet, but you'll see certain parts are still dry. But you do see like the little bits of nutmeg on the paper. So what I would normally do now is refold it in a different direction to make sure the whole thing gets completely wet. So I just refolded it, and I'm just going to squeeze. I shouldn't squeeze because that's how it ripped the last time, and the first one that I did didn't rip. So I think it didn't rip because I didn't squeeze. I was a little bit more careful. So now I'm going to open this, and I'm probably going to have to do some of this by pausing so that I don't rip it anymore. But it would rip if you're not really careful, and I don't think I can be careful while I'm talking and holding the camera. So let me just shut this off, and then I'm going to come back. Okay, so here's the paper, and you can see how already it's darker. So what I did was I take a tissue or a hand towel and just pat it on a flat surface, because you don't want it to have, you still want it to be flat, just like this. So you want it to still be flat like paper, and you don't want to have it wrinkle too much, but you just pat it dry and you go throughout. And what I did was I lifted the edges and made sure that it remained flat so that you don't have these air bubbles in it. And so let me just do that. And so that part is flat and it's dry. Now I'm going to flip it on to the other side. So I flipped it onto the other side, and I patted dry, and I made sure that it remained flat so that you don't have too many bubbles on it. And you can kind of, I wouldn't go crazy because you don't want to rip it anymore, but you'll see that some of the paper's already ripped. In that case, I would just cut it into a smaller sheet of paper. And so once this dries, it won't be as dark as it seems. It would be a little bit lighter, and you'll get these little nutmeg spots on the paper, and you can kind of see that, and it smells really good, just like nutmeg. So there it is. We just made some aged paper. I'll call it an aged paper, just from nutmeg. I also wanted to tell you really fast that there are some jars at the Dollar Tree. They're only $1.25, and I think they add a lot of character to this little display. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to, if you guys can think of a way to change this craft into something else, a different type of something else we could use besides tea, coffee, or nutmeg, please leave a comment. Thank you for watching.